everyone, my name's HarryAtomic, and oh my goodness, it feels so good to be back. And what better way to get back into the swing of Xbox 360 video making by counting down the top 5 rarest Xbox 360 games. Anyways, let's roll the intro and get stuck into the video. Now before we get into the video, I'd like to ask everyone to consider subscribing to the channel. There have been a lot of views on the channel. We had 10,000 subscribers while I was away, but I am going to be making a lot more Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox Series videos, so if you're interested in all things Xbox, be sure to get subscribed. Anyways, let's start with our number 5 entry on the list, Dodonpachi Resurrection Deluxe Edition. So, bullet hell shooters are exactly what they sound like, tense gameplay where you have to traverse a series of levels, all while avoiding a seemingly incomprehensible amount of projectiles. Its fans spend countless hours memorizing patterns and sharpening their reaction times to overcome seemingly impossible odds. Settled comfortably in this category is the Dodonpachi series developed by Japanese studio Cave. Dodonpachi Resurrection is the 5th entry in the series and started its life as an arcade title, eventually seeing releases on the Xbox 360, mobile PC and Nintendo Switch. The 360 version in particular came 2 years after the arcade version and saw both a standard and deluxe edition release. Now, I said to myself I wasn't going to include special editions in this because the price of special editions can vary wildly. I'm looking at you, Saints Row 4. However, the deluxe edition of this game contains a slight difference over the base game. Whilst the standard version is a high definition upgrade to the original arcade version, Dodonpachi Resurrection Deluxe Edition contains the original arcade version and so is much more sought after by fans of the series. Currently, to add this game to your collection would cost you around £50 on eBay. And so we move on to the game that is probably the bane of most PAL Xbox 360 collectors' collections, and that is My Horse and Me 2. Developed by Tate Interactive and published by Atari, this horse riding simulator didn't exactly set the world on fire with its release. I reviewed this game a couple of years ago and, yeah, to cut a long story short, it was a chore. Developed with the horse enthusiast in mind and even boasting an official license from the Federazione Equestre Internazionale. I'm pretty sure I said that wrong, but due to low production numbers and low sales, this game sits pretty high on the list of Xbox 360 games, with an average complete copy selling for $125 or more on eBay. This is a game that I would put in the serious collectors only category because for $125 you could do a lot better in the Xbox 360 library. At number 3 on our list we have Chavo Kart. Now, as a collector of PAL Xbox 360 games, I'm always happy to see a high-priced NTSC release because I don't have to buy it to complete my set. So where did this game come from? Well, from 1972 to 1992, a live-action sitcom known as El Chavo aired on Mexican TV. This show was popular enough to warrant an animated sequel known as El Chavo Animado, which itself ran from 2006 to 2014. So what do you do with a popular cast of animated characters on TV? You create a kart racer, of course. El Chavo Kart features characters from the El Chavo TV series racing around areas familiar to the show. Unfortunately, due to its regional interest in Mexico as well as mixed reviews, this game failed to have a global impact. This in turn makes for one of the rarer games on the NTSC library, regularly costing around $100 for a complete copy on eBay. So the next game on our list, it gets a bit weird. It's Fallout 3 Mothership Zeta. Now, it's normal when searching for Xbox 360 games to expect a Game of the Year edition to cost more than the base game. After all, you're getting all of the DLCs included alongside the base game. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Not quite. Rarely, if ever, do you see a DLC cost more than the base game that it was made for, and even rarer do you see a digital download code for a DLC cost more than the base game. This is the case with Fallout 3 Mothership Zeta. Fallout 3 released during a time when DLC was the hot ticket amongst video games. In order to maximize DLC adoption and also circumvent per download speeds at the time, DLC was sometimes offered on disc. For example, instead of downloading the Shivering Isles for Oblivion, you could just buy the Shivering Isles disc and install from there. This was the case for the first 4 DLCs of Fallout 3. Operation Anchorage, The Pit, Broken Steel and Point Lookout were all available on disc. However, Mothership Zeta was handled a little differently. Mothership Zeta was not sold as a disc, but rather as a download code on a card. However, this card was included in a retail Xbox 360 case, fully shrink wrapped and sold alongside its disc-based DLC counterparts. Because of this, the case and download card for Fallout 3 Mothership Zeta will set you back approximately $400. Also, in most cases, the code on the card has already been redeemed, making this the most expensive case and artwork on the Xbox 360. And so, we get to number 1 on our list. What is the rarest and most expensive game on the Xbox 360? NBA Elite 11. Normally, sports games are reserved for the bottom tier of video game collecting. These games are normally used for spare cases so that you can upgrade other more expensive, better games, or they're something that you just kind of have to buy to get a complete collection, unfortunately. This isn't the case, however, for NBA Elite 11. Developed by EA as a competitor to NBA 2K11, this game is officially cancelled. But the story goes a little deeper than that. The game's development was rushed and was completed, if you can call it that, in around 18 months. The game even had a demo released at the Xbox 360 and PS3 marketplaces, which was plagued with bugs. Players would T-pose on the court, players would never miss a shot. Generally, the game was a disaster, and EA decided to cancel the game for quality reasons. This, however, created a very specific timeline to create one of the rarest games in Xbox 360 history. Whilst this demo debacle was going on, the game itself was actually in the process of being manufactured for retail release. This process normally involves a few steps before you actually get on to mass producing the retail game. Some of the most important steps in this are sending a master copy back to the developers so that they can approve it. They'll use this copy to check for things like the correct version, spelling mistakes, I don't know, just other random things to do with the actual software itself on the disc. Once this is sent back and approved, then a single retail copy is made with the artwork on the disc, essentially the first ever retail copy of a game. This is then sent back to developers, where the developers will get one final check over all the contents of the disc, as well as the artwork to make sure that everything is perfect before it gets mass produced in its millions. It was at this final approval stage that EA cancelled the game. I think you can see where this is going. So for all intents and purposes, this is a full retail copy of the game, and so will function exactly as a retail copy would. However, since it never made its way to stores, only a single retail copy of this disc exists. And it can be yours for the low price of $10,000 for the opening bid. Granted, you'll have to crack the grading case to play it. Just be sure to dump the ISO when you do, as reportedly, the ISO was never ripped, leaving this the only retail copy in existence. Not bad for a sports game. So there you have it, the 5 rarest Xbox 360 games. Let me know if you have any of these games, preferably NBA Elite 11, that you would be willing to send me so that I can rip the ISO and then send it back to you. Can't hurt to ask, I suppose. But yeah, also, as I said at the start of this video, I'm 100% back making Xbox videos now. It has been a few years, and I have still been active in YouTube in some way. However, I'm just really enjoying getting back to Xbox again. I'm enjoying getting back to like exploring the Xbox library. I have a full list of video ideas that I'm working through. Some of them are nice and short that I can make videos on really quickly. Some of them are bigger videos that I shied away from before, but I'm really enjoying the idea of sinking my teeth into like bigger projects. But yeah, if anyone wants to ask me anything, you can leave me a comment down below. I'm pretty active in the YouTube comments, so if you want to get in touch with me at all, that's the best place to do so. Anyways, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.